She's so fine. Hell of her blows my mind. Hell of her lights my day.
What's good, guys? This story is coming out of Venice, Florida, and I want to thank Marie722 for sending it to me. Florida mom who worked in hotel found beaten to death in room she cleaned, and guest is charged. Gerald Strader grew worried when he didn't hear back from his wife, Tina Strader, who worked as a housekeeper at a Florida hotel where they both worked and lived. On Tuesday, his worst fears were realized when he opened the closet of a room at the Rodeway Inn in Venice that she'd been cleaning. Quote, nobody had seen her, end quote, Gerald Strader told Fox affiliate WFLA. Disabled and in a wheelchair, he made his way to the room where she'd been working. Quote, when I finally went in and opened the door, I found her, end quote, he told WFLA. He found his wife, a mother of 4 and grandmother of 2, severely beaten, bruised, and unconscious, with a towel stuffed in her mouth, according to deputies, the Miami Herald reports. Bloodstains covered the bed, the Herald reports. Quote, this is one of the most egregious recent crime scenes we have seen in Sarasota County, Sheriff Kurt A. Hoffman said in a statement. My heart breaks for this woman's husband and her family, end quote. At 10:30 a.m. Tuesday, deputies from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office rushed to the hotel at 1710 at.a.m. Miami Trail, responding to reports about a bleeding, unconscious woman.
A hotel guest has been charged with second-degree murder after a Florida woman who lived and worked as a housekeeper at the hotel was found beaten to death in a room. Stephen Havrilka of Venice, Florida, is being held without bond in the Sarasota County Jail after Tina Strader, a mother of 4 and grandmother of 2, was found brutally slain in a hotel closet by her husband, Gerald. The Miami Herald reports that according to deputies, Gerald found his wife severely beaten, bruised, and unconscious with a towel stuffed in her mouth. The Herald also reports that bloodstains covered the bed. A statement from the sheriff's office says that on Tuesday morning, deputies rushed to the hotel after receiving reports of a bleeding, unconscious woman. The woman was then rushed to a local hospital where she died of her injuries. The sheriff's office adds that less than 5 minutes after receiving the initial 911 call about Tina, deputies responded to another call at a nearby intersection about a suspicious white male who appeared to be under the influence of narcotics and acting erratically on the street corner. The man was identified as Havrilka, and he was later taken to the hospital for observation. During the police's investigation, they allegedly found out that Havrilka was a guest at the hotel where Tina was attacked. He's allegedly on camera entering the room that she was found in. He was also allegedly uncooperative when detectives interviewed him. The county sheriff has said in a statement that this is one of the most egregious recent crimes the county has seen, and that his heart breaks for Tina's husband and her family.
Witnesses tried to perform CPR on her until paramedics arrived. She was rushed to a local hospital where she died of her injuries hours later, the sheriff's office said in a statement. Her death elevated the alleged crime from aggravated battery to homicide. Less than 5 minutes after receiving the initial 911 call about Strader, deputies responded to another call at the nearby intersection of Alligator Drive and South at.a.m. Miami Trail. This time about, quote, a suspicious white male acting erratically on the street corner, end quote, the sheriff's office said. The man allegedly appeared, quote, under the influence of narcotics, end quote, according to the sheriff's office. Quote, it took 5 deputies to take the man into custody, end quote, the sheriff's office said. The man, identified as Stephen Havrilka, 30 of Venice, was taken to a local hospital for observation. During their investigation, detectives reviewed surveillance video allegedly showing Havrilka entering room 209 in the hotel, the room where the victim was found, the sheriff's office said. Havrilka had been staying at the hotel for about 6 days. Strader was allegedly beaten right after she texted her husband at 8:49 a.m., the Herald reports. The video, according to deputies, shows Havrilka entering the room at 8:50 a.m., just 1 minute after Strader had gone inside, the Herald reports. He allegedly stays there until 9:04 a.m., when he is seen leaving the room carrying a white towel and his shoes. He can be seen leaving the motel at 9:12 a.m. No one else goes in or out of the room until Gerald Strader goes inside at 10:07 a.m. when he found her, the Herald reports. Armed with a search warrant, detectives, quote, recovered evidence, end quote, from the alleged beating, the sheriff's office said. Havrilka was allegedly, quote, uncooperative, end quote, when detectives interviewed him, according to the sheriff's office. Havrilka has a lengthy record, the sheriff's office said in its statement. He is a convicted felon with 19 felony convictions and 10 misdemeanor convictions, the sheriff's office said. The convictions range from strangulation and battery of a person 65 years or older to motor vehicle theft and tampering with a witness. At a press conference, Hoffman said Havrilka, quote, did not know the victim, but perhaps spent days observing her. She was doing her job and was terrorized, battered. As a husband, I can't imagine what this victim's husband is feeling now. I want to see that this man is put away for life, end quote. Havrilka is charged with second-degree murder. He is being held in the Sarasota County Jail without bond. He has not yet entered a plea. His arraignment is scheduled for May the 28th. It is unclear whether he had retained an attorney. Police have not yet said what allegedly led to the beating that killed Strader.
At the Rodeway Inn in Venice, Tina Strader was working to make ends meet. As the manager of housekeeping, by every account, she was a hard worker, a nice person, and a beloved wife, mother, and grandmother. But tragically, that all came to an end when, according to investigators, she crossed paths with Stephen Havrilka in room 205.
There's no other way to describe Mr. Havrilka. He is an animal.
Sarasota deputies say she was cleaning the room when Havrilka walked in, severely beat her, and left her for dead. Her husband found her body in a closet. He went to check on her after his text to her went unanswered. At 30 years old, Havrilka's criminal past includes dozens of arrests stemming from battery to burglary and more.
But I think any of us would recognize that 30-plus felony arrests and 19 convictions, you wouldn't expect this person to be out there walking.
Each time Havrilka served his full sentence. On January 2nd, he was arrested for battery against his mom. The charge was dropped after she refused to pursue charges. Court records show she tried to get him to enter a treatment program, stating her son suffers from severe mental illness. According to court records, she told the state attorney's office her son had been in and out of Baker Act facilities. Havrilka was released from jail on April 13th.
It's easy to kind of jump to that conclusion, like when someone commits a horrific crime, that you just want to jump to the conclusion, like, why was he out of jail to begin with? The prosecutor's office in Sarasota did their job. The judge here did their job.
Derek Bird is a criminal defense attorney who reviewed Havrilka's record for Fox 13. He says prosecutors did everything they could to keep him locked up for as long as they could. That included an additional 33 months in prison after he punched an inmate.
Because of his criminal history, I think our state attorney's office said, you know what, we're not going to let him get away with that. We're actually going to prosecute him for a jail fight, which I commend them for. That's not ordinary.
Now the state attorney's office will build a new case against Havrilka, this time for the murder of an innocent woman who was just doing her job.
We are committed to working with the state attorney's office to see that this man is put away for the rest of his life.
Kimberly Quizon, Fox 13 News.
What a terrible situation. My heart goes out to her family, her husband, her kids, her grandkids, and her friends that knew her. You know, what do you do in that situation where they've done everything they can to hold him in jail? I know here in Kentucky a few years back, they closed several of our mental facilities. And what that did was put people that belonged in mental facilities into nursing homes where they absolutely did not belong. It actually affected my grandfather, who was an Alzheimer's patient and was very active and very aggravating, I'm sure. And he shared a room with a man who had been thrown out of a mental facility and ended up in the nursing home. And he got aggravated with my grandfather and forcefully shoved him into a chair, which in turn broke his hip and led to his demise. So I don't know what you do in these situations, but something needs to change. A law somewhere needs to change, because this guy had countless felonies. I'm going to end the story on that note, but thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.